Imagine for a moment that the very thing you spend your life searching for is not something far away, not something hidden, but something that's already present, moving toward you as you move toward it. Life, at its essence, isn't about a grand chase. It's a dance, a cosmic game, where the player and the goal are never truly separate. Now, many of us think we're on a quest, don't we? We imagine life as a straight line, where if we just keep pushing forward, keep striving, eventually we'll find what we're looking for: success, happiness, fulfillment, enlightenment. But here's the trick: the harder you chase something, the further it often seems to slip away. Like trying to grasp water, the tighter you squeeze, the more elusive it becomes. But what if, instead of running after what we desire, we recognize that what we seek is already seeking us? What if the destination is moving toward us as we move toward it? You see, life is not a straight path. It's a flow, a current. The more we align ourselves with that flow, the more we discover that what we truly desire is not something we acquire, but something we awaken to. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, operates like a mirror. The thoughts we think, the energy we send out, the desires we nurture, these are reflected back to us. If you desire peace, the first step is not to find it out there, but to become peaceful within. If you seek love, you must become love yourself, for love attracts love. In truth, this universe is not a place of rigid separation, of isolated individuals competing for scarce resources. It's a great web of interconnection, a dance of energies, where everything is interrelated. The seeker and the sought are part of the same game. They are, in fact, different faces of the same coin. But we often miss this because we're caught up in the illusion of separateness. We think we're alone in this pursuit, striving in isolation, when in reality the very thing we yearn for is already intertwined with us. The moment you let go of the frantic search, the striving, the need to control, you open yourself up to what's already there, waiting. Let me offer you this thought: what if the act of seeking is itself the barrier to finding? What if everything you've ever wanted is already within you, waiting patiently for you to notice? The irony is, the more you relax into being, the more you surrender to life's natural flow, the more easily what you seek reveals itself. Not because you're chasing it, but because you become aligned with it. The heart of this understanding is simple: you and the universe are not separate. You are a part of this vast, intricate whole. And what you deeply seek, love, truth, wisdom, joy, these are not treasures hidden somewhere beyond the horizon. They are right here, seeking you, waiting for you to recognize that you and they are one and the same. So the next time you feel lost, the next time you feel like the thing you're searching for is far away, remember that maybe, just maybe, what you seek is also seeking you. And in the moment when you stop striving, stop forcing, and simply allow yourself to be, that's when the dance begins. You, the seeker, are already home. In the search for meaning, love, or fulfillment, many of us view ourselves as separate from the objects of our desire. We picture a world where we stand on one side, and the things we yearn for are on the other, perhaps just out of reach, maybe distant and elusive. But this perspective assumes that life is composed of rigid divisions, where the seeker and the sought are two distinct entities. This is where the illusion begins, for the truth lies in the interconnectedness of all things. The seeker and the sought are not separate, they are bound together by the very act of seeking. Like two ends of a single thread, destined to meet when we understand the nature of their unity. Life is not a linear race, where we chase after our goals and desires, hoping that one day we will catch up to them. It is more like a dance, where every step we take is met by a response from the world around us. The idea that what we seek is separate from us blinds us to the fact that we are part of the very fabric of life, interwoven with everything we long for. When we imagine our desires to be far off in the distance, we create a false barrier between ourselves and the reality we wish to experience. What if the seeker and the sought were not on opposite sides of this perceived barrier, but were in fact intertwined in a constant, ever-present relationship? What if the moment we begin searching, The very thing we desire is already moving toward us. This is not just an abstract notion, but a reflection of how the universe operates. At its core, the universe is a web of interconnected energies where everything influences everything else. In this web, there is no true separation, only the appearance of it. When we think of our desires as distant or hard to attain, we fall into the trap of thinking that the more effort we exert, the closer we will get to them. We assume that life is a game of hard work and struggle, where the prize is only given to those who fight for it. But in doing so, we overlook the possibility that our desires are not separate from us at all. They are, in a sense, an extension of us. The very act of seeking something is proof that we are already connected to it. Take love, for instance. We often believe that love is something we must find outside ourselves in another person or in the circumstances around us. But this belief rests on the assumption that we lack love within ourselves, that we are somehow incomplete. Yet the more we search for love as if it were a scarce resource, the more elusive it becomes. This happens because we are viewing love as something separate, as something that exists outside of us. But what if love, in its truest form, is not something to be found, but something that we must first recognize within ourselves? The moment we begin to embody the qualities we seek, whether it's love, peace, or joy, we begin to see them reflected back to us in the world around us. The universe mirrors our inner state. If we cultivate love within, we naturally attract love. If we become peaceful, the world responds to us with peace. This is the power of interconnectedness. We and the objects of our desire are not two separate forces colliding in space. We are one and the same, moving in harmony with the universe's flow. This understanding shifts the way we approach life. Instead of believing that fulfillment lies somewhere beyond us, we start to see that we are already part of it. What we seek is not in a distant future, waiting for us to reach a certain level of effort or achievement. It is already seeking us. As we move toward it, it moves toward us. There is a profound ease in this realization. The pressure to chase after our desires fades, replaced by an awareness that we are already on the path toward them. But this interconnectedness is often obscured by our own minds. We live in a world where competition and individualism dominate. We are taught to view ourselves as isolated beings, striving to stand apart and conquer the world. In such a mindset, the idea that we are intrinsically linked to everything around us can seem counterintuitive. And yet, if we look deeper, we can see how life operates in cycles, how everything in nature is part of a whole. The waves in the ocean are not separate from the water, they are the water in motion. Similarly, we are not separate from life, we are life, seeking itself through us. To truly understand this, we must let go of the idea that life is something to be conquered or achieved. Life is not a series of boxes to be checked or goals to be reached. It is a continuous flow where what we seek and who we are merge together in each moment. The very act of seeking is not an indication of lack, but an invitation to recognize that we are already part of the thing we long for. By accepting this, we free ourselves from the exhausting cycle of endless pursuit. We begin to trust that the universe is not withholding anything from us, but is in fact in constant communication with us, reflecting back what we offer. When we release the need to control and simply align ourselves with the flow of life, what we desire begins to appear not because we've chased it down, but because we've become a match for it. The dance between the seeker and the sought is one of mutual recognition. The more we come to understand that we are connected to everything we seek, the more easily those desires manifest. This is the magic of interconnectedness, realizing that we are not separate from what we seek, but deeply, irrevocably connected to it in the very fabric of our being. We live in a world where striving is often seen as a necessary component of success. From a young age, we are taught that if we want to achieve something, we must work hard, exert effort, and constantly push ourselves toward our goals. Society values this mindset, rewarding those who hustle, persevere, and never rest until they have reached what they desire. And yet, for all the emphasis on striving, there is a subtle and often overlooked truth: the harder we push, the more elusive our goals can become. The illusion of striving lies in the belief that constant effort and struggle are the only ways to achieve what we want, when in reality, it is often our relentless striving that keeps us from finding peace, fulfillment, or success. At its core, the illusion of striving is based on a misunderstanding of how life operates. We tend to view life as a linear process, where there is a direct correlation between effort and outcome. If we work hard, we will be rewarded. If we don't, we will fail. While this logic makes sense in certain practical contexts, it falls short when it comes to the deeper aspects of life: love, happiness, meaning, and inner peace. In these areas, striving can often lead us further away from our desires because it creates tension, stress, and an inability to be present in the moment. Think about the times when you have been searching for something with all your might. Maybe it was a relationship, a career breakthrough, or a sense of purpose. The more effort you put into the search, the more it seemed to slip through your fingers. This happens because striving by its nature is a form of resistance. It assumes that what we seek is not currently present, and we must fight against the flow of life to obtain it. Striving creates a gap between where we are and where we think we need to be, perpetuating a sense of lack and separation. When we strive, we are often fixated on the future, constantly chasing something that is just out of reach. Our focus becomes narrow, and we become consumed by the belief that we must do more, be more, and achieve more to attain our desires. This mindset creates a constant feeling of inadequacy, as if we are never enough in the present moment. No matter how hard we work, no matter how much we achieve, the satisfaction we seek seems to remain beyond the horizon. The irony of striving is that it blinds us to the present, where fulfillment actually resides. Life is not something that will happen once we reach a certain milestone or achieve a specific goal. Life is happening now, in every breath, in every moment. The act of striving pulls us away from this moment and creates the illusion that happiness, peace, or success are somewhere else. But the truth is, what we are seeking is often already available to us, if only we would stop striving long enough to notice it. Consider how often moments of clarity, creativity, and joy come to us when we are not actively striving for them. Inspiration strikes when we are relaxed, not when we are forcing ourselves to come up with ideas. Love often appears in our lives when we are least expecting it, not when we are desperately searching for it. Peace is found in moments of stillness, not in the midst of struggle. These moments of ease show us that life is not something to be wrestled with, but something to flow with. The more we strive, the more we block ourselves from the natural flow of life, where things often unfold in their own time and in ways we could not have predicted. Striving also creates a rigid attachment to outcomes. When we are constantly pushing toward a goal, we become fixated on a specific result. We believe that happiness or fulfillment will come only when we achieve this particular thing in this particular way. But life is not a machine that responds to our commands. It is an unpredictable, dynamic process, full of surprises and mysteries. By attaching ourselves too rigidly to a specific outcome, we close ourselves off to the many other possibilities that life may be offering us. In our striving, we may be so focused on the path we think we should be on that we miss the opportunities, experiences, and gifts that are right in front of us. Letting go of striving does not mean giving up on our desires or abandoning our goals. It means approaching life with a sense of trust and openness rather than force and control. It means recognizing that there is a natural rhythm to life, a flow that we can align with rather than fight against. When we stop striving, we open ourselves to this flow. We begin to trust that life has a way of bringing us what we need, often in ways that we could never have imagined. This doesn't mean we stop taking action or become passive in the face of challenges. Rather, it means that we take action from a place of calm, rather than from a place of frantic effort. When we stop striving, we find that our actions become more effective, more aligned with the natural course of life. Instead of exhausting ourselves by swimming against the current, We learn to move with the current, allowing life to carry us where we need to go. In many spiritual traditions, there is a concept of surrender, letting go of the need to control and trusting in something larger than ourselves. This is not the same as giving up or being indifferent. It is an active form of surrender, where we engage with life fully but without the tight grip of striving. We learn to trust that what is meant for us will come to us, and what is not meant for us will fall away. This trust allows us to move through life with a sense of ease, knowing that we do not have to struggle or strive to be worthy, fulfilled, or successful. When we let go of striving, we also free ourselves from the endless cycle of dissatisfaction. Striving by its nature is never satisfied. There is always another goal, another mountain to climb, another thing to achieve. But when we stop striving, we begin to see that we are enough, right here, right now. We begin to appreciate the richness of the present moment, rather than constantly seeking something better in the future. And in doing so, we discover that many of the things we have been striving for were already within our grasp all along. The universe, in its vastness and complexity, can often seem indifferent to the desires, thoughts, and actions of individuals. Yet if we look closer, there is a profound wisdom in the idea that the universe mirrors what we project into it. This concept suggests that what we experience externally is a reflection of our inner state. Our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs shape the world around us, and in turn, the universe responds by giving back what we emit. This reciprocal relationship between the individual and the universe is subtle, but once understood, it becomes clear that we are not passive observers in life, but active participants in a dynamic exchange with the world around us. Many people approach life with the belief that they are at the mercy of external forces, whether it be luck, fate, or circumstance. They feel as though they have little control over the events that unfold in their lives. But the notion that the universe mirrors our inner world challenges this assumption. It suggests that the way we perceive and experience life is shaped by what we carry within us. Our thoughts, attitudes, and emotions act as a lens through which we interpret reality, and in doing so, they influence what the universe presents to us. Consider how people with a negative outlook on life often find themselves caught in cycles of disappointment, frustration, and difficulty. They might believe that they are simply unlucky, that the world is against them, or that they are destined for hardship. Yet, when examined closely, it becomes evident that their internal state, their fears, doubts, and pessimism plays a significant role in shaping their experiences. The universe mirrors their negativity by presenting situations that confirm their outlook. It is not that the universe is inherently cruel or unkind, but rather that it reflects back the energy they project. On the other hand, individuals who approach life with a positive mindset, an open heart, and a sense of gratitude often find themselves surrounded by opportunities, connection, and joy. This is not to say that they are immune to hardship or difficulty, but their inner state allows them to navigate challenges with grace, and they attract circumstances that align with their optimism and faith in life's potential. The universe mirrors their positivity by offering them experiences that resonate with their inner vibrancy. This reflection is not a matter of simple cause and effect, but rather a deep interplay between our inner world and the fabric of the universe. Everything in life is energy, and our thoughts and emotions carry a particular frequency. When we radiate love, joy, or gratitude, we send out high vibrational energy, which attracts similar high vibrational experiences. Likewise, when we dwell in fear, anger, or scarcity, we emit a lower vibration, which in turn draws experiences that match this frequency. This concept of the universe as a mirror can be observed in many areas of life. In relationships, for example, we often find that the way we view and treat ourselves is reflected in how others view and treat us. If we carry self-doubt or insecurity, we may attract partners or friends who reinforce those feelings, treating us in ways that confirm our internal beliefs. On the contrary, when we cultivate self-love, confidence, and worthiness, we tend to attract relationships that mirror those qualities, people who respect, value, and appreciate us as we are. The relationships we experience are often a reflection of the relationship we have with ourselves. The same principle applies to our careers or creative endeavors. If we approach our work with passion, enthusiasm, and a belief in our abilities, the universe often responds by presenting us with opportunities to succeed, collaborate, and grow. But if we harbor doubts about our talents, fear failure, or believe that success is unattainable, we may find ourselves stuck, facing obstacles that seem insurmountable. Again, it is not that the universe is punishing us, but rather that it is reflecting our internal narrative. This idea of the universe as a mirror invites us to look inward when we encounter difficulties or when we feel stuck. Instead of blaming external circumstances, we are encouraged to examine our inner world and ask, what am I projecting? What beliefs, thoughts, or emotions might be contributing to the situations I am facing? This introspective approach is empowering because it shifts the focus from external forces to our own capacity for change. By adjusting our inner state, we can change the reflection that the universe presents to us. Of course, this does not mean that we are responsible for every challenge or hardship we face. Life is complex, and there are many factors beyond our control. But what we can control is our response to those challenges and the energy we bring to each situation. By consciously cultivating a positive, open, and trusting attitude toward life, we align ourselves with the flow of the universe, allowing it to reflect back the best of what we have to offer. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, operates on the principle of balance. Just as a mirror reflects back an image of ourselves, so too does the universe reflect back the energy we emit. If we approach life with a sense of scarcity, fear, or lack, we will often find ourselves surrounded by situations that confirm those feelings. Conversely, if we cultivate abundance, gratitude, and love within, the universe will respond by reflecting those qualities back to us in the form of opportunities, relationships, and experiences that resonate with our inner state. This understanding of the universe as a mirror invites us to take responsibility for our inner world. Instead of waiting for the external world to change, we are encouraged to change within. By doing so, we shift the reflection that the universe offers. It is a powerful reminder that we are not passive recipients of life's circumstances, but active co-creators of our reality.